Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unique Peace. I am Janice. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher. I'm a psychic medium and the host of Unique Peace. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by Moon Eir. She is a metaphysical prophet, a modern-day metaphysical prophet, a spiritual cosmic communicator, as well as a pet communicator, and a multidimensional guide devoted to helping humanity. We are going to learn all about what all of that means and how she defines peace. Everybody, welcome, Moon.
Hi, guys.
How are you today, Moon?
I am doing well. Very busy, but I'm doing good.
So I am fascinated by your story. I am fascinated by everything that has the history connected to you. So can you walk us through your story?
Oh boy. Okay. I am not the original sole host of this vessel. I arrived in 2009 from a car accident. Everything is contracted out energetically. So nothing is amiss. Nothing is just a surprise. It is all contracted. So she wanted to leave at a specific time. She felt like her learning was done. And instead of the body decaying and being wasted away, we are now filtering through vessels to bring the shift on. And that was what my whole mission was to assist in that way. Because galactically, if we just start showing up on the planet, it's not going to go well. Your government will step in and start doing things that, learning wise, they don't understand what they're doing. So this was the safest way for us to get here. And the first wave of volunteership, it would have been right around when the atomic bomb was being created, and that would have started us all over again with the human experiment. So you guys are on your fourth experiment, and we couldn't have this just ruined. So we decided to come in a different way to fix the program. So if we are the designers and engineers of the program, where this is a place of learning, we decided to go into the game instead of trying to fix it on the outside. So the first volunteerships are what's called a non-karmatic soul, and they've never left heaven, never left God, and they kind of laid the foundation for us to make our way here. Now, when you don't have a karmatic backpack and coming to a place like this can be super, super hard. And right around the 1970s, you'll see this high rate of suicides happening where they just wanted out. They wanted to go back. The second wave, we do have karma. We know what karma is. We understand that having a child, having relationships, getting married, these things like this can create karma. So we tend to not create karma while we're here because we have one specific mission in mind, and you won't usually see a second wave getting married or having kids. Now, they may come into a body that already has marriage or has kids, and then they take it from there. Your third wave is these kids playing Chaplin at age 3. They're talking about Jesus at age 1 and 2. They're making crystal grids. They're very easily spotted, and they have a lot more DNA strands within them because they are kind of like the sucker punch to the shift. This is where the snow globe gets really shaken up, and they are the ones that are getting misdiagnosed. They're getting medicated because the ones that haven't really shifted yet, they don't understand why these kids are so hyper, because they have a high frequency that is just to try to break down the walls and get the shift going. So that is part of my mission.
Fair. I love that. 2 questions. We're going to go back for a second. You explained your origin story. Now explain who you are.
I've been here many times. Don't get me wrong. I don't really, if I had to pick a place, it would not be Earth. Granted, Earth has its good stuff, loving relationships, unique pastimes like going to the movies or bowling, playing tennis. The food is amazing. You won't find food like this on other planets. So I am a galactic soul. I'm a representative from Kalinia. It's a planet called Kalinia. It's many, many light years past your moon in that direction. I got the awareness or the alarm that heaven needed volunteers, and I left at a time that I probably shouldn't have because I was transitioning into a leadership role. And I'm sorry, but when he calls or she calls, I take the call. I'm not going to bypass that opportunity to help if it's that important. So technically, my vessel there on Kalinia is on standby until I can go back into it. It's really hard to explain, but we have ways of never dying if we don't want to, but we can leave our vessel and venture other places. Yeah.
And explain the shift, because there are a lot of people talking about the shift. There's a lot of thought processes about the shift. So explain your perspective.
The shift, I've been to your future. Let me put it this way. I remember having to filter the water 11 times. That's how bad the water was. People were living in mud caves, like dome, like mud caves, using paper, cardboard, mud, cement, anything they could get their hands on, because most of the buildings were destroyed due to war and things like this. Sorry, I'm getting emotional because I don't want you guys getting to that future. It's pretty horrific. So when the alarm went off to go to Earth to readjust the shift period to something more peaceful, I jumped on the chance. Your whole future right now, the timeline you're going towards, and I've been talking about this since 2014. I was to get you guys ready for Trump. He's one of the biggest light workers to get you guys. I don't like him. I'm going to be honest. His spirit is Nebuchadnezzar. That's his past life. No one liked Nebuchadnezzar, but he got the job done. And that was the whole point. That's why God put him in charge. He doesn't care what anybody thinks or says. He just is there to get rid of the control system, break it down, and rebuild it up into something better. When God gave me this message, I got woken up in the middle of the night and I had my art book next to my bed, and he said, start writing. And so I got a pen and I was like, okay, what do you want to say? He told me about Trump. He said that he was ready for him in 1999, but the people on Earth were not ready for him. So that path got switched. And then he said that he would take office, and he was there to break down the walls of Jericho, this whole like system. And he kept referring to him as his trumpet, his frequency sound trumpet. And if you notice, right around when Trump was like talking about presidency and taking presidency, we hear trumpets all over the world. I don't know if you guys have gotten wind of this. If you just go to YouTube and look up trumpets being sound in the environment, there's a lot of videos. And this was God's way of like warning everybody the shift is happening now. So those that were already here before me or after me, that was our notification, like on the phone. Ding ding. This is happening now. So the shift, I'm going to do a couple parts. Your future, or the future of Earth, is not, there's no crime, there's no murdering, there's no weapons. Weapons are outlawed, money is outlawed, and every home and business has a replicator type system that makes your food for you, your clothes, your household items. But in that future, people don't have a whole lot of stuff. Like there's no like knickknacks and things like that. The other thing that I started getting everybody ready for in 2014 was I said to everyone, you guys are going to have these printers that are going to print, and they will be the first footsteps to... Oh my gosh. Can you hear her?
Is it a bird?
No, it's my cat. You can't hear her? Okay, that's good. All right.
I hear mine.
Yeah, my cat's outside. She hears me talking. So this printer was to become the footprints to the replicator systems, and you are now seeing the 3D printers. This is the beginning stages to your replicator. Homelessness is outlawed. All this stuff is outlawed. And there's a more peaceful, unified system happening. There's not like a government, but there's a council. And this is when the GFL, or the Galactic Federation of Planets, starts forming, and Earth is introduced when it's getting ready for that time. We are in that shift where that is the beginning steps for those gatherings and meetings to take place. We're trying to get humanity ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually for those first interactions.
Okay. And so I too am not the biggest fan of Trump, but I've heard him referred to as the great disruptor.
Yes. He's the
That is
trumpet
his job.
of change.
You don't have to like him.
Right.
But he's very good at the job he was given as a disruptor.
Yeah, God has a very strong protective hand on him. No matter how many bullets go at him, they're going to keep ricocheting. I actually predicted 3 of the shootings or the attempts on him, and the one that happened near me in PA, there was an angel standing next to him, and I saw this angel go like this, and the energy from his palm pushed Trump this way and ricocheted. It was to go through his face, but the way the angel had pushed the energy and separated our world from theirs, it bounced and just sliced the side, just inches. Like it's wild. It's wild.
You seem to have a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm a type of teacher in heaven, and all the knowledge that I obtained from my past lives here and other lives from other planets, I'm able to answer things that most people on your planet can't answer.
Well, that might come into play in a minute. So, given your story and the construct of having to filter into another body, one that you didn't start in, it didn't sound like you wanted to start here. But
yeah, that's the worst.
What have you learned this go around that has shaped how you define peace personally?
Dark has had a hold on this planet for far too long. My soul originally to this planet was Mary Magdalene, and I firsthand got to see the control in that life. And coming back, it's kind of comical to me, because right when I came back, the Pope and the Catholic religion started changing their narrative and their tune to all this, that I'm suddenly a saint. I'm not the whore that they made me out to be. Like, this is the control I'm talking about, the manipulative narrative going on, right? And it's happening not only in religion, but it's happening in politics. It's happening everywhere. And it's horrible to watch and see, but coming back into this life, I'm actually dealing with a couple past lives right now that karmatically I'm trying to neutralize, which I wasn't expecting to do. I had like a whole mission, and then getting deeper. The longer I'm here, the harder it seems to be. When I first came, it was a little bit easier, but it's so heavy here. And with the shift, it's making it even worse, right? So, sorry, my guide Maria just chimed in. So my past life as Queen Anne Boleyn is probably the most crucial one right now that I'm working on and neutralizing. But what it's helping me to see is a lot of people around here in this planet are doing a lot of past life neutralizing. Like a
Mhm.
lot of people want to tap into the Akasha. They're tapping into past lives. They really want to know what their past lives are, and this is because they're trying so hard to neutralize all of that stuff so that they can get to that peaceful level, right? They need to remove all that toxic stuff that their soul's been backpacking through every life. It's now time to cut the cords to all that so that you kind of have this fresh start for the new Eden, in a sense, right? Because old
Mhm.
Eden was closed off. It's barred. You can't get back in. The new Eden is being formed, and Earth is becoming this new Eden of paradise that we are merging ourselves into. So that to me would be a level of peace that we're a lot of these third dimensional people are not ready for the shift, and this is where you're getting a lot of people acting like crazy weird. They haven't shifted into fourth and fifth, and the more that the population is shifting into fourth and fifth, the more they're acting up, the crazier they're getting, because they're like toddlers. They're stomping their feet. They do not want to merge. They don't want to do it. So they're acting out like toddlers. Yeah. It's sad to watch, but
So, given that example,
mhm.
this is interesting point is how how would you know that you've gone from 3 to 4 to 5 versus somebody who has picked the fast lane and wants to run you over in their car? I don't know how else to describe that. But that's what
Third
I picture.
third dimension is very easy to spot. They are the ones like killing. I'm seeing a lot of these women that if a child comes up to them or there is a slight tiny bit of an interaction with a child. Like I just saw a news clip the other day of a woman stabbed a little 3-year-old because the 3-year-old bumped into her. She turned around and stabbed him. That's a third dimension. That's clearly a third dimension. Fourth dimension, they're figuring it out. They're the ones that are like, I'm in the awakening, but I'm still being pulled back into third. So you have these like weird spiritual mood swings happening. Like they can't make up their mind if they're going to elevate or not. And then, right? You have you experienced these kind of people? Like they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
enlightened,
yes. Yes.
and then they do something that you're like, ah, right? So then you get into the fifth dimension, and fifth dimension, you don't really want to get involved in religion, politics. It's almost like you're elevating above it. You're starting to realize that's part of the system of learning, and you're not getting involved. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're doing your own thing and you're elevating yourself within the collective, but on an individual way. And you're reading books, you're doing courses, you're avoiding the chaos.
And
Yeah.
it's so funny. And in avoiding the chaos, I'm sure that has brought some peace.
Yeah.
Um,
It
I have
does.
I have a funny story of avoiding the chaos. And it's just one of those where I have a lot of friends that people would think are, strange, oddball, and none of us are better than anybody else. But it is we're connected to a lot more of the 4D than the 3D. Um, and I say that with love because you wanna bring people up, but it's like I avoid I avoid the news like the plague.
Oh yeah.
I don't know half the time how I get my information, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it just magically filters into my lab YouTube, I guess.
No, it's your timeline you're in, because the Matrix Earth is a school of Matrix. It's a program that souls came in to learn from. You're creating your timeline based off what you're doing within it, the actions. The system is listening to the programmer. You're putting out the code to the programming. So let me give you an example what this looks like. A lot of people don't, their mind is creating the actions for the program, and their mind is the coding. So let's say, for example, you're in a lot of pain in your hips and your back. Okay. One of the things you want to do is settle into that pain, allow the pain to surface, feel into it, and then keep repeating the same number, 55515. It's a quantum coding. It's telling the matrix system, the program, I want this removed. This doesn't belong here. It's a virus that doesn't belong here. So you're putting out a repeated code. This is how the mind works. I'm using this as an example, and it actually, that code is for that, by the way.
No, I don't doubt that. Trust me, I've learned a lot about codes recently.
So if you're telling the matrix system, I want this, I want this. So I want more money, I want more money. So the program's like, oh, you're lacking in it. So I'm going to keep giving you what you're lacking, right? So it's when you stop saying I want and you act like you already have, that the system gives you what it thinks you have, but really you're lacking it. Do you see?
No, absolutely.
It's code. It's a code. It's a mindful code.
Not easy to connect with. That's where a lot of people get tripped up. That's where a lot of people get frustrated. That's a lot of, I'm not going to do this right now. We live in the world of instant. I mean, I have a 19-year-old. They are fully digital. They didn't grow up in the analog.
Right.
At all.
My background is forensic psychology. And one of the things we learn is it takes 7 days to create a habit.
Yep.
And if you keep working on your mind for those 7 days, it'll be like riding a bike. You won't even actually think of it anymore.
I take my program to 90 so that it sets in, but that's and that's not a contest. It's the truth. 7 days to really get your brain going. It's 90 for it to take place, like really be ingrained. Right. And then you just keep on going. And most people give up before the end of a week.
Right.
It's really sad.
I know.
But with all this information, how do you define peace? What's your personal definition of peace?
Peace to me is having like-minded people around me that see the same kind of timeline, and we're working together in our little collective. I knew I wasn't to grow super big in this life like I did when I was Mary, or when I was Queen Anne, or when I was Lincoln. I knew this was going to be a smaller scale, which I was fine with, because I feel like the larger the path is, the more stress it creates, the more ego that's being played in. So to me, peace is helping those find realization, helping them understand their original blueprint that they came in with, not the programming that was placed on them. We do soul retreats for this, where we're bringing them back to the programming. It's so powerful, this programming, that I get people coming to the retreat that can't walk. They have walkers, they have canes, and they walk out with nothing, because that's how strong the old programming that was placed on them, that they actually believe this stuff, and the mind is creating this program and putting out code. I can't walk. But in reality, if you go back to your original blueprint, your soul contract's blueprint of what you were meant to learn, not what everything was downloaded onto you. So like the best way I can describe this is peace to me. It's coming back to your original blueprint, not the one that everybody placed on you, but you came in like this, okay? But then mom started putting her opinions, her correct, like if you're the kind of person that's always saying sorry, you're saying sorry because mom kept shushing you when you were little, because she couldn't handle noise. That's her blueprint. She can't handle noise and loud noises, and you were very talkative. Then there's dad. Then there's your siblings. Then there's your friends, right? And absolutely. And then where are you? So when we do the retreat, I'm bringing you back to this. This is peace to me. It's knowing who you truly are away from all this. Do you get it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt.
That's the point. That's point to me. And making friends and having like-minded conversations that don't involve killings and politics and riots and do you know what I'm saying? It's having a cup of tea, talking about God or spirituality, or my favorite topic is I love talking about Jesus and heaven. Those are my two things I love talking about. It's my favorite. I love it. That's peace to me.
Okay. Now we're circling into my next question, as how do you bring peace to yourself?
Oh, that's a toughie, because I don't get a lot of peace in this life, only because of what I'm doing and who I am. Even at night, probably nighttime is the worst for me. I literally have like a mask and I have headphones in with full blast white noise, so I can't see them or hear them. But it's constant. It's a lot. I don't really get a whole lot of peace. But if I were to try to find peace in this life, it would be, to be honest, having Jesus here. That would be my peace. Just me and him chilling, hanging out physically. I do get him around spiritually and emotionally, but I don't know. To me, he is the full capacity. I woke up the other morning. I was sleeping and I woke up and I was thinking, oh my God, why did I leave him? Like I started crying, like, what the hell made me come here and leave him? Like I left him. What the hell's wrong with me?
You're not alone. You're not alone. It's like, why am I here?
Why the hell did I do that? Like it was really bothering me. I must have been with him and woke up and didn't remember what the conversation was. And I just was like, why did I leave him? That's so stupid. But it makes sense. There's an important mission here because Earth plays a big role to the rest of the cosmic realm. Like, for example, there is 10,000 solar systems right in your little solar system. And the reason you guys aren't seeing all those planets and ships and things is because you're not at the frequency level of seeing them. It's kind of like somebody looks up and goes, oh my God, look at that pink cloud. And everybody around them's like, what pink cloud? They're vibrating at a specific frequency to see a pink cloud, where everybody around them is just not ready to see the pink cloud. They have to raise their vibration to see it.
I see the pink cloud.
I know, right? It's so pretty.
So, well, you don't feel like you're getting peace. I'm sure you bring peace to others. So how do you do that? How do you bring peace to others?
You know what? I guess in a way it does bring me peace that I'm bringing peace to others. It does, but I deal with a lot on a daily basis. Predictions coming in all the time and then having to worry about like how to word it because you can't feed a baby steak.
No.
So when I see a prediction and I have to put it out there, I have to find the most simplest, softest way of doing it without beating around the bush and having to worry what other people think. So I have it's rough.
No, I've had several teachers, and I tell people now when they come to me for a healing or a reading, I am merely the mailman. Sometimes I deliver love letters, sometimes I deliver bills. I'm just the mailman.
And I refer to myself as the telephone.
So, yeah, it just is. But what are your favorite ways? You're not delivering messages per se, but you're just like at a retreat and you're like, okay, do we meditate? Do we walk in nature? Do we sit in silence? What are we doing at this retreat that brings peace? You're leading this retreat. What are we doing?
Well, at my retreats, they're very custom made. I don't even know why I keep a schedule because Spirit always changes it up on me. I think I do it for the people coming, but it eventually changes. It's even right down to the food. I have a personal chef on hand that custom makes the food to trauma so that when you're going through trauma, it's in a calming, peaceful way and you're not abruptly, you know what I mean? It's right down to, I even have a massage therapist that works the tissues and releases trauma through muscle and tissue. So yeah, it's very strategic. It's not like woo woo, let's meditate. That's not always going to do it. You have to do other means. And sometimes, like, I'll give you an example. It took me 3 hours to finally convince one of the attendees to come face to face with her. She was a victim of a gentleman and she was younger. I think she was 3 or 5. It took me 3 hours to get her to finally, convince her to come face to face with his spirit and for me to bring his spirit forth for them to work things out. And it was like her face was darkened, and by the end of it, her face lightened up. She looked brighter. She looked relieved, as if she had some kind of closure there. And she walked away the retreat like very different, very different. Yeah. She's a very powerful individual. She just doesn't give herself credit. And I see that a lot with a lot of clients. They don't see the power of their own soul. They're so used to all that programming layers that they can't even see themselves. Yeah, they can't see themselves through it all. It's like dust on a mirror, and what I'm trying to do is wipe the dust off and get them to look, you know. It's rough, but yeah, it's very strategic. My retreats are not like the normal woo-woo, let's sit around and chit chat, you know what I mean? It's like we're digging deep, and it sometimes can be rough. It can be rough, but the end result is definitely worth it. Yeah.
And when people come to you, do they leave more peaceful?
Yeah, I have yet to meet somebody that wasn't in that state of mind. I mean, that is my whole goal, and they don't actually leave my presence until we get to that point. And it doesn't matter how long they're with me. Yeah. I mean, when I would do group readings, I wouldn't leave that house until everybody got a reading. I could have arrived at noon and left at 3 a.m. Like, it didn't matter to me. Just everybody was getting a reading. I just didn't feel right if somebody came and just didn't get anything. Like, that bothered me. So, yeah.
I understand that. And what I like is to give people real or metaphysical or even thought process. So what's in your toolbox when it comes to peace? Somebody's really stressful, or you know that when they leave, they may still have a bit of difficulty. What tidbits of, is there an exercise or a meditation or a remembrance that they can walk out with and utilize in the real world? So
Every case is different. My main clientele is mothers or parents that have lost a child through overdose or suicide. I deal with a lot of suicides, overdoses. My main thing with them is having them look at this as a new kind of communicational relationship, that it's going to be completely different than the physical. What you're doing is you're starting a whole different way of looking at communication. And one of the big things that I tell them to do is get a very warm and resonating journal that you're very drawn to. And actually, we're starting to make these kind of journals that are just very custom made to them. And there's inside, you can put multiple different sections. And in those sections, you can make it one for like talking about the grief, maybe another one for talking about the trauma, and maybe one talking about forgiveness, like sectioning it up, but you're talking directly to them. And one of the things that I ask them to do is be open and aware to any signs they give you back, because again, this is going to be a different way of communicating with them. They might put images in your mind. They might leave you something in the kitchen. They might make you trip on the way out of the house because they're trying to answer your question in the journal. So when you trip, like, you kind of have to be aware, like, I didn't trip on my own. It's like something was in front of me. What's that about? And then you go back to the journal. What was I just talking? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's always good to keep journal. And in dreams as well, there could be a section for dreams with them. So whenever you have a dream of them, try to journal on everything you can remember, because there could be something significant there that was talked about that may come up in another dream with them. Because when they come through dream, it is actually them.
Yeah, it's a visitation for sure.
Yeah. That to me, yeah, that would be continuing peace. I mean, of course, we include the crystals. God put medicine here. And if you look at the crystals as medication from him, and let's say you have a rose quartz and a rhodochrosite, the rose quartz is like a 10 to 20 milligram, whereas your rhodochrosite is like 50, 60. It's going to be more powerful, but you want to work your way up. You don't want to just jump right in. So I always tell people, go right to his medication first before you start popping pills, because you might find that putting it into an elixir in your water, like an amethyst, a tumbled amethyst, you drink it, your migraine's gone, you can sleep better. Like, try that before you start popping pills that the corrupt system is trying to push into your body to get you to follow their system. Pop out of the system, try something different. It's a whole new world, honestly. It really is.
And I love crystals. I'm very drawn to them, and I've always been drawn to, like, when you said take baby steps, I don't think I ever have. I was drawn immediately to like the moldavite and the tanzanite.
And that's okay because you're at that learning level where your vibration can handle it. It's when you get a crystal like breaking, that means your vibrancy, your frequency is too high for that, and you got to go higher. Or it goes missing, same thing. You have to go higher. So when these things happen, look towards higher frequencies, and you're already at that level, so you don't have to worry about taking the baby steps. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was easier for you. I did the same thing. Yeah.
Fun story, and I will say no names because I don't want anyone coming back to me. One of my friends, who is also, we're very metaphysical, and she's more, I think she's more in the 4D than the 5D. She's getting up there. She went to an event, a training with a famous psychic medium, well known anyway, and there they had raw tourmaline. And I love tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of my favorites for protection. And so it was a big piece, about 2 or 3 inches,
Right.
and it's thick. And she gave it to me the day after. And I was like putting my hand, I was having fun with it. I loved it. It's like, no, I worked in HR at the time, so we know what that's like. Going thinking I'm going to help people. No, I'm supposed to help the company, but not the way. One of my coworkers, somebody who I was very worker friendly with, not somebody I would be go out of my way to say hi in the grocery store. We'll say that.
Okay.
And she walked by that crystal. The tourmaline got super hot. And as I was transferring it to the other hand, thinking it was just my hand and my Reiki energy going through it, it broke in half. So it took the hit for me, and it just confirmed a lot at that moment in time about what that particular coworker thought of me. So they do their job.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, very much. I agree. Mm-hmm.
So, and a friend of mine teaches a tarot class out of a crystal shop.
Okay.
So I surround myself all the time.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah.
I call them
crystals. Crystals are amazing. I have them all through the house. Justin, when we were filming for a pilot for a TV show, he had told the producers that he has to go around all the crystals, and he says we barely have floor anymore to sweep and vacuum. So then I was like, okay, I probably should get rid of some of these. There might be a little too many of them in here.
They're my emotional support rocks.
I know. I did rearrange them so he wouldn't have to do that now, but I thought that was funny that he like said that, and I had no clue that that's what he was thinking at the time. Yeah, it's funny. So many in the house, it's ridiculous. But I do have my shop is in my front room here. I had to close my shop. There was a lot of violence going on around my shop, and to keep safe myself and my clients, I moved it to we have a huge house, and the whole front area of the house is the whole shop. So yeah,
beautiful.
It's safer. I like it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as we wind to a close, what thoughts do you want to leave us with when it comes to peace?
Turn off the noise. You need to just sit, get your journal, get a cup of tea, a coffee, some sage. Some sage I would recommend for bringing in peace would be pine. If you're trying to remove any like toxic stuff in your house, I would go with cedar. Mugwort's great for depression. Don't do just white sage. A lot of people think white sage is just to get rid of negativity. It's not, actually. It doesn't even do that. It gets rid of viruses and illnesses. That's why the American Indians used it so much. It was to keep their people well and in wellness mind frame. So I would get the right sage that you're looking for. Pine is great for positive energy. So I would, and juniper as well, juniper berry too. But I would sit quietly, listen to your thoughts, and understand the difference between your guides and something else. Something else is going to be a Debbie Downer. It's going to doubt. It's going to question, confuse. Dark is of confusion. God, higher divine energy is of simplicity. They're always going to keep it simple, and they're always going to show you options. They're never going to tell you what to do. So if you're being told what to do and you don't resonate with what you're being told, that's something else. So it's distinguishing what's coming into your mind, and then maybe journaling what you're thinking and what's coming through. Pull a few cards, maybe get a new crystal and journal your journey with it for like a week or two, and then switch it up with another crystal. Get away from news, TikTok, these kind of things, and have your own kind of journey. And what does that look for? Like, are you starting to get into interesting books? Are you getting into art? Are you like fascinated with art? Get into courses. Just get away from what's going on and create your timeline in your own individual collective and do your own thing. And you will start to see, I'm telling you, it just dies down. Like half the time people bring me stuff, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Because Maria, my guide, didn't bring it to me to even know. That's in their realm of learning. And I tell my people all the time, guys, don't send me stuff. That's for you to be understanding and learning, because you're bringing it into your environment. I'm not bringing this into my environment. Unless Maria wants me to talk about an event going on in the world, then she'll bring it to me to talk about, because it's important and there's some information you guys need to know. But other than that, keep it out of your environment. You're creating the environment. What do you want it to look like? And what kind of people are you bringing in and out as well? Like I always tell people, you're 85% water. And if water's molecular structure can be changed by crystals, by words, because Dr. Emoto, if you do some research on him, he did a lot of research on water. You're made up of water. So if you get people around you that are constantly like coming at you with negative stuff, just imagine the molecular structure that's happening within you. That's your reality. You're bringing that in. So if you want your molecular structure to be pure and peaceful, it's going to take removing some people and downing time with them. Like you may not be able to get rid of mom because she's so negative, but maybe you could limit the time you have with her and you're not around her all the time. So it's, you know what I'm saying? I get that a lot too.
Clear across the country, so I do understand.
Yeah, so you have to look at all aspects. What does your environment look like, and what do you want it to look like? So it's creating a little sacred space in your house. It's all yours. You decorate it. You feel good when you go in it. Keeping people out of your life that are just messing everything up, and especially with your vision of what you want it to look like. It's things like that, and quieting the mind. Turn off the noise and listen to your guides, because they've been trying to direct you on your soul contract, which is, by the way, mapped out on your hands. And here's a little fun thing before I let you guys go.
I just looked at my hand. There's a lot of lines there.
Yeah, but if you take a picture and take another screenshot picture like 3 to 6 months later, and then compare the two, you'll notice these little lines are changing. The left hand is what you could have picked, but you didn't. And the right hand is what you are going to pick and what you may pick. These lines might switch over to these lines. You didn't come here alone. Your whole contract is here. And your guides are talking to you through the mindful telephone on the contract you came up with already. You're simply just following your own compass that you came up with. If you go against that, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities that you could be in. Whether it's bad or good, everything is being learned. And for us to honor peace and honor amazing things in life, sometimes we have to go through the bad. Like, for example, are you very drawn to Salem witch trials, Wiccan, witch stuff?
I am, but I also know that in a previous life I was burned.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Do you tend to run hot?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was in the kitchen before I came and did this thing, I saw you on fire and you kept thinking the whole time your soul was thinking, I wish I can send the fire to all of them because then they would know what this feels like and they wouldn't be standing there mocking me and laughing and throwing things and just being so horribly mean to me. If they felt this, they would be nicer to me and they would understand where I'm coming from. And I was like, wow, that's really powerful. I've never thought of being burned
I've
and like
never thought of
thinking
that
that.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in this lifetime anyway.
Yeah. I was drowned and I have a mark on my genitals because that's how they drowned me. They hooked things down there and then kept me into the water. Yeah, that's one life. I did get over it because I've had a couple lives with those people already, but it's still, I don't know, it's just like a stuck imprint, like sticky honey. It just
it just sticks. There've been a couple of lifetimes that have come through in this lifetime. There's a lot of work to be done, but one of kind of like, now that I realize that, I kind of like set that bridge on fire. It's like, I don't want to see you in the next lifetime. I don't want to be here next lifetime, but I know I don't want you in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the one with Salem and what have you, that is still kind of fresh because I am dealing with some of the people from that lifetime in the present and the convergence.
And I just had a quick question. We have never met, but I do look familiar to you. Yeah. I was with you in that life. I don't want to get too into that now. I mean, we could talk off camera, but yeah, I was with you in that life. I came to bat for you, but it just didn't go well.
No. And then there's a lot going on in the current lifetime where I guess I'm transmuting that energy where my hands get really hot when I do Reiki. And
you say Reiki, I hate that word. The only reason why is because it's what you're doing is it's actually way more than that. And I don't know why people need to put a category title to it because it doesn't really have a name. And I want you to just try something for me. Your guide is showing me a book and your hand is over the book. And there's something with your gift that you can absorb what's in the book without reading it.
I absorb things quickly when reading, but that osmosis type of experience.
I don't know what it's called. It's just they're showing me this book and you putting the heat, the fire from your hand into the book, and it just comes. It's like a cycle or circling fire with blue, yellow, and red and orange, and it goes like this, and you're just. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
A lot of books. If I was able to really, if I could hone that skill, I would. Like, the library is already a good friend. So
I think what they're trying to show me is you haven't really fully harnessed this, but it's in your wheel of gifts being available to you to try and work with. It's kind of like kids right now. There's a child that he talks to the trees and he tells the one tree like, move this way or bend towards me, and it does. It takes practice for that communication to find its way to you, and then you're able to
really sit with that.
Yeah.
Interesting. That will be a fun little experiment.
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun learning your blueprint.
It is.
It's so fun. Like, I love giving parts of the blueprint to people, and they're just like, I mean, I've kind of done that, but I haven't, you know what I'm saying? And they haven't like fully got into it, but it's in their blueprints. I see it. It's fun.
It's fun. So I would love to invite you back, Moon, and have a conversation just on blueprints. That's more on that.
Was today about peace? I'm picking up a theme. I had no idea what today was about. I'm picking up a theme though. Okay, I like the peas. That was fun. I never really thought about it because I don't get a whole lot of it. I'm just so busy and I'm always helping others. But I guess in a way, yeah, helping others does give me a lot of peace. It does. I mean, I can go to sleep at night knowing that I did something powerful within my day. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so we're gonna say goodbye to Moon for now. We will definitely have her back. So we'll put you in the green screen. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This was an amazing conversation. And again, we will invite Moon back and talk about spiritual blueprints. And have a great day. Thank you.